dream I'm going to be watching if his team loses in the first round.
Oh, wait. Just give me the team. Although if you give me the team, it's going to be an easy guess. So just say it, I guess.
Yeah, so this isn't going to happen again. But if I'm dreaming, the Cavaliers are a legitimate primary scoring shooting guard away from being an absolute juggernaut, in my opinion, in the East. A guy that can take pressure off Darius Garland, a guy that can score anytime he wants to. He lit up Cleveland earlier this year. Donovan Mitchell from the Utah Jazz.
Man, I know that was a weird way to start a podcast, but Seth Wanamaker, the guy that texted me this past Monday and said, hopefully no breaking news happens after Thursday around 3:30 because I'm going to a bachelor party, and here we are. Right around 3:30, the Cavs acquire Utah Jazz guard and all-star Donovan Mitchell. So it's sort of an emergency podcast, sort of a breaking news podcast, but here we are. WFNY CavsCast. I'm your host, Josh Poloha. With me today, Joe Gilbert, because Seth is on his way to, I think he's on his way to Nashville. I think he's flying to Nashville right now. We're part of the Evergreen Podcast Network and another official Waiting for Next Year podcast. But April 19th, so what, almost 4.5 months ago, Seth had a dream. And it was that the Cavs would acquire Donovan Mitchell. And here we are, literally an hour before he leaves for a bachelor party where he can't even talk about it, and the Cavs acquired Donovan Mitchell. I mean, when I first saw the news, I was like, what the heck? No way. Joe, first off, what was your reaction to the news, and how, what was your, first reaction? I'll be honest, mine was holy shit. And how do you feel about it now that you've had time to think about it?
So yeah, it's kind of funny. I was at work, and I haven't been looking at my phone or anything like that and seeing the news. And I just get a text from my boss, and it's just capital letters Cavs, and I'm like, oh, what the heck happened? And then I look on Twitter, and it's just I'm super excited, man. This is a put your chips in the middle and kind of go for it move, and I love it. It's an aggressive move, and you gotta love Kobe being confident enough to go for it, and I'm super excited to see it. Spider Mitchell and Darius Garland in your backcourt. That's hard to beat in the entire league. I don't know if you can find a better one.
Yeah, it's one of those things where all right, we'll start off with the good news. Good news is that Donovan Mitchell is one of the best guards in the NBA, a 3-time All-Star. He's been, a 3-time All-Star in 5 seasons. Doesn't really get much better than that. 6'1", he averages 24 points, 4.5 assists, and 4 rebounds a game while shooting 44% from the field and 36% from three. Can't complain about that either. Yeah, you probably want a bigger 3-point percentage, but hey, I'll take it. But the most important thing is that during the play-in, especially during the play-in last year, because the Cavs didn't get a chance to play in the playoffs to see what they have in the postseason. In the play-in games against Brooklyn and Atlanta, those two teams really blitzed Darius Garland and made the Cavs offense move the ball without using Darius Garland to move the ball, if that makes sense. Now, I mean, if you blitz Darius, all right, just give it to Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
So and before we go any further, the Cavs traded Lauri Markkanen, Colin Sexton, and Ochai Agbaji, a rookie who hasn't. By the way, that is the second time in 8 years that they traded a rookie, first round pick when they traded Andrew Wiggins. So Ochai never even plays the game
next year.
Hey, we'll talk about that. That would be awesome, but that is not for this podcast right now. No, but seriously, I was really excited about Ochai, but then again, it is what it is. He's gone. He's out. He's off to Utah. And not only with those 3 players, the Cavs also traded 3 for unprotected first-round picks.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And we'll do 2 pick swaps.
Yep.
Unless disaster happens, those pick swaps will not matter. Hopefully, knock on wood. If those picks get swapped, we have major, major, major issues.
Yeah.
But, and with that, with the stepping rule, which is made possible by the Cavs as well, the Cavs cannot trade a first-round pick until 2030. So keep all that in mind. But I mean, I have my doubts about this trade just because of what they gave up when they're not feeling their biggest hole, which is a 3-D win. But I mean, acquiring Donovan Mitchell, man, defense could be an issue. When hasn't it been an issue? But when you have Jared Allen and Evan Mobley, maybe that obviously helps out a lot. There's no such thing as the 3-man Tower City anymore. Now it's just back to 2 guys. But offensively, I'm very excited to see what JB and Luke Walton draw up with. I mean, if you need a made basket with a few seconds left, you're gonna have Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen,
probably
Karis LeVert, probably. Or even you can put Kevin Love out there if you need offense.
Yeah.
I mean, the options.
Ricky Rubio once he gets back.
The options are crazy. That's what I'm most looking at. Offense is going to be great. Defense, I'm skeptical about. But then it's the Cavs. When aren't I skeptical? When aren't we skeptical about the Cavs defense? I don't know. But man, I can't talk. I was just not prepared for the Cavs to acquire Donovan Mitchell.
I know.
I really wasn't. I wrote it off like weeks ago.
And there was a report. I think it was either this weekend or last week where they
yesterday.
said Cleveland. Yeah, was it yesterday? Well, yeah, that one. But they said that Cleveland was out of the running, so it was out of nowhere. But it's pretty similar. I don't know what the exact date was, but the Lori marketing one, pretty much last year, came out of nowhere too. It kind of reminded me of that. It was middle of the off season, and there wasn't pretty much any rumors, and it just happened. So another blockbuster for Mr. Kobe Altman, and I gotta love it, man. He's going all in, and we do need to pour out a glass for the tall ball lineup. No more tall ball lineup.
True. Unless they signed Taco Fall, who just signed he signed with some country, right?
Yeah.
Bring back Taco.
Unless you want to do Dean Wade at the 3. So.
All right. So we were talking about no more tall ball lineup. Sorry, Craig.
We could see the tall ball lineup.
What was it? Shoot, I had a train of thought. Now I forget what I was going to say. I completely forgot. It just totally just went away. Yeah, me being surprised. Oh, so who had this was what I was thinking. I know this is the CavsCast, but the Deshaun Watson trade to the Browns and Donovan Mitchell trade to the Cavs have a lot in common.
Yeah, came
on court and on field wise. Just to go to the Browns, and then the Browns were supposedly out of the running for him, and then within days the Browns shocked the world, the NFL world, and traded for Deshaun Watson. I mean, yes, it's the NFL offseason is way crazier than the NBA offseason at times, but this was the same exact thing. I mean, the Knicks, it seemed like it was like, if the Knicks don't make this trade, then they're dumb. But then again, I mean, the Knicks are kind of dumb, to be honest.
I have to say, this is another nice little throw-in that the Knicks didn't get them.
I just want to point out.
Adds a little bit of niceness to it.
Yes, Vegas released their over-under wins differential now that Donovan Mitchell is not going to the Knicks and he's going to the Cavs.
Oh yeah, what did the
Cavs went up? The Cavs went up 6, which is very surprising. Is Donovan Mitchell really worth 6 wins? They went from 42.5 to 48.5, which I found surprising. But most importantly, the Knicks went down, I think, to 38.5 or 39.5. So the Knicks just spent $100+ million on Jalen Brunson. And are still not going to be a 500 basketball team.
Yeah. Yikes.
Man, what a poor day to be a New York Knicks fan. I mean, not even a day. I'd say a freaking century or more.
God, they had that 1 year with Carmelo, and that was about it for the last century. Last century year.
Hey, put that up on a banner. You know how they make up banners for the Knicks? Put that on a banner.
Hey, we got the first round.
1 year with Melo.
Pretty much like the Browns banner lately.
Yeah. Hey, we got a touchdown. Hey, we didn't go 0-16. Back to the Cavs though. I still can't believe it, honestly. And by the way, the Cavs have not. Yes, I want to love it, but I'm skeptical. I'm a Cleveland fan. Josh. I'm a Cleveland fan. I cannot get too hyped up. I've learned my lesson multiple times.
By the time season comes around, me and Seth will get you around.
Yeah, I still can't believe that. Seth, that clip we played to start off, I still can't believe that was from April 19th. Seth had a dream. Seth Wanamaker had a dream, and now it's come true. September 1st. But by the way, the trade has not been made official yet, at least at the start of this podcast.
They usually have physicals and all that.
The Cavs very unironically put out a tweet about an hour ago that said, "Come get your Cavs season tickets." I think you can correlate one with the other.
Yeah, I think so. They know what they're doing over at the Cavs ticket sales there.
Yeah, I would be interested to see how their season tickets, like how many people called in today to buy season tickets. They're not going to release that number, I'm sure, but I bet you it's at least 50. I bet you they sold at least 50 today.
I would assume so. It's already probably pretty high already after a promising season and a kind of fun off season so far. And yeah, this one got to get more.
Speaking of Cavs over unders, shout out to everyone that had Cavs over 42.5 wins. Because if they don't hit 42.5 now. Yeah, I know one of my buddies put $100 down on 42.5. I was like, I literally texted him, "You bastard."
you got free money right there.
Yeah, if the Cavs,
obviously if everything goes well.
Disaster. If the Cavs don't win, that'd be 42-40. If they don't go, 43-41. No, 43-39. I went the wrong way. 43-39. I think. Unless injuries happen again, but they had bad injury luck last year. There's no way.
I know.
No way. Knock on wood that it can happen 2 years in a row.
Got to. God, that was one of the worst seasons I've ever seen with injuries. Every single person got hurt. Like there was, I think Kevin Love was the only one.
Literally, I was just saying that.
Love.
It seemed like every person got hurt except for Kevin Love. Like, what are the chances of that?
The most injury-prone guy on the team didn't get hurt, but he did get COVID, so he did miss time. So I think everybody missed time.
So, speaking of, I'm sorry, I was trying to share this thing on Facebook. Speaking of Kevin Love, we'll talk about how this affects the Cavs and different players. Mm-hmm. I think Kevin Love loved the trade today. 1, it brings in Donovan Mitchell. 2, it got rid of a big man. Kevin Love is now the backup big man. It's him and Robin Lopez. And I guess Dean Wade, if you want to throw Dean Wade in there too. But Kevin Love is the guy.
Craig will come after you if you don't include Dean Wade.
True. But Kevin Love is the guy at backup big man now. Yeah. It's Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, Kevin Love, and then you also have Robin Lopez, who they signed earlier this offseason, who will now have a bigger role. But, for Kevin Love, he has to love this because it gives him a much bigger role. And it'll be interesting to see, I know we have a whole year to discuss this, how this affects Kevin Love and a possible extension because he becomes a free agent after this season. So, if he has another big year and perfects his role, I would say he perfected his role this past season.
Oh, yeah.
20 minutes a night and knocks down 3-point shooter, scorer. Defense isn't always there, but we knew that, except Steph Curry on June 19th, 2016. But, yeah, this is huge for Kevin Love. I think he's probably super excited. And, I don't know. I don't know if I'm in disbelief or surprised or what, but I just can't believe it happened because I wrote it off. Literally, like I said 5 minutes ago, I wrote it off weeks ago that I was like, "There's no way the Cavs are doing this."
Right? Yeah. Kobe does all these. He does things in the dark, man. He comes out of nowhere, and this is another one. But yeah, Kevin Love. We thought he was important last year. He's going to be super important this year. He's probably going to have to play more, obviously. But yeah, it's going to be. I think we're actually going to go. We're going to see more small ball. Actually, we didn't see it a lot, but they're going to have to. They're going to have to play smaller because they don't have enough bigs, and you don't want to run Kevin in the ground because I think his workload last year helped him not get hurt. So. it's going to be interesting to see.
Joe out here saying that they're going to have to play smaller when they literally just traded a 7-footer for a 6'1" guy.
That's
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it. No, I'm kidding.
Breaking
no, I
news.
agree though.
Yeah.
You're gonna. I mean, Darius Garland's probably gonna play. Donovan Mitchell's gonna be right around there too. So literally, for most of the time, 35 out of the 48 minutes or so, you're gonna have 2 6'1" guards.
Yeah.
Then again, maybe that'll make them play bigger at 3, 4, and 5 because you had 2 6'1" guards, like we saw in the regular season last year, where they had 3 7-footers. I'm really interested to see how Kobe does the rotations this year. Like, is Isaac Okoro going to start to make up for that lack of defense at the 1 and 2?
JB.
Who did I say?
Kobe.
Well, maybe Kobe does on the show.
Maybe Kobe is the all-powerful man on that.
Hashtag trusting Kobe always. That's my biggest positive. I've been saying trusting Kobe for all offseason, over a year now.
Yeah.
I just have to believe in that. I have to trust in Kobe.
Yeah.
Until he does something wrong,
right,
I have to trust in him.
Like,
So,
what's his worst thing he's done? Probably maybe kind of take Okoro a little bit higher, because maybe
that draft was not great though.
Right, and it's like it's not even a big, and we don't even know if Okoro is what he is yet. So it's like there isn't really a one that, like, what the heck is he doing? Like so many other GMs we've seen. It's pretty impressive what he's done. So it's hard to bet against the guy.
True. Yeah, I can't disagree with that. But it'll be interesting, now that I brought up Kobe, it'll be interesting to see what JB does with rotations.
Yeah.
I'm assuming one of Darius Garland or Donovan Mitchell will be on the court at all times. But it'll be interesting, at least for the most part. I'd say like 45 of the 48 minutes, one of them will be on the court.
Yeah.
Maybe sometimes you put Karras out there and he can kind of run point guard duties. But, I mean, you have Isaac. If Isaac Okoro, I mean, this has been a question, I guess, or a statement that we've said. If he can make a jump,
that
would be so astronomically huge for this team.
Yeah, this is Kobe Altman pretty much with this trade said, "Hey, Isaac, this is your chance. We've given you a lot of chances over the last few years, and this is probably your last chance to figure it out. And if he can do it, we've talked about this before the pod. God, if he can make a consistent jumper,
no, not even
like
jumper,
semi consistent, like a semi
corner three,
right.
Literally, just that corner, that straight line on both sides. Like you said, we talked about before the podcast.
Be semi consistent. My God, his
I would literally
ceiling
take
is
37% from the corner three. That's not even that great. I mean, the great corner three-pointer shooters are shooting like 44, 45%. I think it was 44% last year. It's because the corner three is the shortest distance for three-point range and around the. But I mean, imagine if I literally don't even need him to dribble the ball. Just be a slasher and a corner three-point guy. 3 things: slasher on offense, make your corner three-pointers, or at least be semi-efficient, like 38. I'll take 37, 38%. I'm fine with that. And defend. Those are the only 3 things the Cavs need from Isaac.
They're not asking him to do a lot. Like, just get this stuff down. Oh my God. And it's gonna be fun to watch to see how he grows. And I haven't really seen, there's always videos, like I've seen Evan Mobley during the offseason. I haven't seen Isaac really in a workout video, so maybe he's just kind of.
But there was a report out there that he's killing workouts. I mean, what?
Well, yeah. There's always.
What? Yeah. I mean, it
what player struggles in workouts?
Yeah, exactly. I love those reports. I literally saw.
Well, I guess Luka is the only one. He got fat during the offseason.
Really? But Luka's
remember last season he got chubby in the beginning,
and then he came back and had a top 5 NBA player season this year.
Right. Yeah.
But show me the first time I see a report about how a professional athlete had a really bad offseason. Not like weight wise. I'm talking about like workout wise and on the field, on the court wise. Will be the first time I ever see it, because that literally never happens.
Yeah, it's gonna be I don't think you're gonna find one, but yeah,
true. But the opportunities on this, I know I'm slowly worried about offense, even though it's all about defense. But the opportunities on offense are endless. You can't blitz DG. You can't blitz Donovan because if you blitz one of them, the other one will be wide open.
I'm not gonna say it's for sure, but I really think Dean Wade might have a bigger role than we're expecting.
Hey,
Like,
can we get Joe Gilbert back? Joe, this is Craig Lindvall. This is Craig Lindvall talking. We want Joe back.
But yeah, it's because he's a shooter. He can shoot a little bit. He would kind of still. He's a pretty good defender. He really is. He's shown throughout his career that he can defend, and they can keep kind of the tall ball lineup, and it worked pretty well for the most part last year. And it's
most
help.
Importantly, though, can I interrupt you? Most importantly, is he having a good summer full of workouts?
That's true. I think he's healthy at least because I think he had surgery this offseason.
He tore his meniscus, right?
Yeah. And we saw last year where when Laurie was hurt, he was the guy they put in for the 3 position. So obviously it's a different dynamic because they don't have Laurie anymore, and they're gonna maybe not use the tall ball lineup as much. But I could definitely see, because that then allows you can have Karis LeVert off the bench, you can have a core off the bench. It's just, I think it might actually work better, but we'll see. Obviously, it's the starting lineup. It's how you finish. I think in the end, we'll see either Rubio, when he's healthy, or LeVert be that 3 position. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be matchups. Obviously, you're not going to put LeVert in there if it's LeBron. So it's like LeBron playing. Now you could put him in. You could put a Coro in to at least kind of like just hustle, kind of. Pretty much. You're obviously not going to stop LeBron, but you got to make it hard on him at least. So,
if we're talking playoffs, though, do we really have to worry about LeBron in the playoffs?
That's good.
Let's be honest. Finals
Very
only.
good point.
2.
Very good point.
2. Are the Lakers really going to make the finals anytime soon?
Should we say Kevin Durant then? Maybe. I don't even know that team.
Yeah. I mean, let's talk about. No, actually, before we go further, if your optimal starting lineup is Garland, Mitchell, Okoro, Mobley, Allen, correct? We both agree on that.
Yeah, I would say starting. I really care about how we finish, so I would say LeVert would be the finisher. But
okay, if the Cavs that's part of the. If Okoro makes a jump, that's where like JB has a lot to work with, because if Okoro makes a jump, you have Okoro or LeVert at the 3, and then obviously Mitchell and Garland. The other 4 are pretty obvious, I feel like. And then you can even have Kevin Love at the 3, depending on matchups and depending on if you need offense or not. I mean, I know I've said this multiple times already on offense. The opportunities are endless, just because that's part of the reason why I'm so excited. I'm still skeptical at what they gave up to get Donovan Mitchell, but I love what he can bring offensively.
Yeah.
It's worth noting, I think Donovan Mitchell has 3 years and around $100 million left on his contract. And then he has like he has an opt out. I know he has a player option. I didn't know.
I think that's you're correct. I think it's a
4th-year player option. Yeah, it's 4th-year player option.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and then Colin Sexton signed an extension with the Jazz, which, I mean, if the Jazz were going to make this trade, it had to be, it's 4 years, $72 million. So Colin Sexton got paid. That's what he was trying to do all offseason.
Another
4 years, $72 million would be
another.
So that's
another glass to pour out for Hiram Boyd.
Hiram. We can't mention that name on this podcast.
Got to.
But that being said, weren't Rich Paul and Colin Sexton and that team looking for a number that started with a 2? I'm pretty sure $18 million per year does not start with a 2.
No. So that means I think the Cavs were around 15 probably. I would think that they were probably just starting at 15.
What I heard was the Cavs are doing 10 to 12.
Were they? Yeah, I could
Colin
see.
Sexton had nothing. There was literally
Yeah.
the Cavs were competing against themselves when
Right,
it came to
yeah.
Colin Sexton. So
Definitely.
what's the point of offering more? I mean,
Yeah.
it looks like he was going to take the qualifying offer at what, like 8 or 9 mil.
I
But
think so. Yeah.
now we don't have to worry about. I love Colin Sexton. I hope he balls
I know.
out with the Jazz. I'm sure Hiram hopes he balls out with the Jazz too. It's not gonna be one of those things where it's like, well, should have traded Talon. But then again, the Cavs gave up all this for Donovan Mitchell. My first response was, is Donovan Mitchell really Lowry Markkanen,
Yes.
Ochai Agbaji,
Yes.
and 3 unprotected first-round picks better than Talon Sexton?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
See, that's why I'm skeptical. That's why not only did the Cavs give up 3 unprotecteds, but is he really that much better? I hope the answer is yes. Because if it's yes, man.
No,
but
like I love Colin. I thought he could have been a very quality guy, but he's never won anything. He's never helped winning, and like it's good and all. Like his stats maybe match up well with Donovan, but Donovan has been on winning teams, has been the leading cause of most of the winning teams. I don't think you can really compare them. I think he's that way, way, way better than Colin. It's what we hoped Colin would be, is what Donovan was. Donovan is. Like,
okay, I get that.
Yeah.
I said,
it's tough. I love Colin. I think he would have been a good role player or good kind of guy off the bench, but yeah, when you can get Spida, you got to go for it.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm not skeptical about the Cavs acquiring Donovan Mitchell. I love the fact that they did that. I'm just skeptical of what they gave up to acquire the All-Star guard. That's all. That's the only thing.
I think he also is a better
creator
too, because we saw last year. God, how much weight of the offense was on Darius Garland?
He literally had the team on his back. Literally had the team on his back.
Yeah. Now they have a creator who can take the weight off of them. They'll probably kind of use it so where at least one of them is on the floor, which is kind of nice. At least for most of the game. It's Derpy Gaming.
Derpy Gaming. I completely forgot to look at comments. Derpy Gaming. I don't know who it is. It's obviously not it is a real person, but I don't know who the person is. But they commented 20 minutes ago, the fellas, Cleveland actually did something. By the way, this NBA offseason, it was supposed to be like a quiet one, especially like
no big free agents, and
then this happens.
Yeah. It's just like fun.
Yeah, I mean,
I know we were going to get into how they're standing in the East, but before I just think overall this trade, it kind of shows me one thing more than anything. I really thought, like, right when the trade happened, that Kobe really, he knows what Evan Mobley can be. Like he has so much high expectations that he expects. Like, you don't make that trade if you don't think Evan's going to be a top 10 player. At least I think that would be my guess of what his thinking was, like his potential and all what he can do skill set wise. I don't think you make that trade without having the mindset that, this guy's going to be a top 10 player. So if you keep it in that mindset, like, Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell are your second and third best players. Like, that's freaking good, man. Like, that's what I always thought. Like, I don't think either of them are, like, there's only a few number ones in this league. There's LeBron, Kevin Durant, and they're mostly wings. Like, you gotta pretty much have a 6'8" somewhere.
Hawks Twitter is about to come at you so hard.
Yeah. We saw when he actually matched up with a wing, he got beat. So
Trae Young, they have 2 guards, Trae Young and DeJounte, and you're just totally nixing both of them.
Sorry.
They're mostly wins. There's outliers. Jokic is an outlier.
Yeah.
Giannis, I'd say. I mean, Giannis is a
Giannis is a wing. He's
a point guard. He's a point guard and a center.
He's LeBron. He's what LeBron is. He can play any position. Yeah, so it just shows you that I think they have the expectation that Evan is the guy, and that's going to be fun to see. I've seen some videos of his workouts, and I know it's a workout. God help us, but
I'm sure that workout video. I'm sure the highlight reel literally just showed every made shot because there's no way he missed any shots during said workout either.
Yeah,
highlight reels and workouts are literally my favorite thing of the offseason.
It really is. It just makes you so excited for the season.
Like this guy just made 10 shots in this highlight reel, but how long in real time did it take to make 10 shots?
The biggest thing beyond the workouts, but it was who and what they've been saying about the workouts is he's been practicing with Kevin Durant, which is kind of cool to see.
All right, hold on. Take a step back. Jetty practice with LeBron, but continue.
No, but this is the difference. This is the difference.
I'm just being the kid. I'm being the get back. You know how college football and NFL now have get back coaches? Yeah. I'm being the get back coach for you.
No, I understand that. But it was just I forget who the quote was. It was the trainer. I forget who talked to him. But they were training him like they ran through for Kevin Durant, and that's just exciting. It's showing he could maybe be up to that skill set at least. I won't say the level, but it's gonna be fun to see how he matures this season, and if he can get a jumper, like a consistent, at least a mid-range jumper, like the 3 position is lessened, like the need for it and the importance of it. So it's gonna be fun to watch. He moves like a 3, by the way.
True.
7'1" 3.
Yeah, I'm Evan Mobley. I don't know what I'm most looking forward to this season now. Is it like how the team meshes together? Evan Mobley, after having one offseason to realize what he has to do to improve in the NBA. Mm-hmm. I mean, man. I don't want to wish away college football season because the Cavs season doesn't start for another month and a half. But
luckily NBA season's like almost pretty year round, so it's coming up in October. So we're not that far away. I'm just so crazy.
And shout out to all those Cavs season ticket reps who literally have to do no work right now and just get paid all that commission. Yeah. Cheers to you guys.
Shout out to mine.
Oh, yeah, I forgot he has. Are you a full season ticket or full season?
Partial. Mm-hmm. Too many games. I don't have enough time to go. I would love to do it.
True. Yeah, I wish I would like if I won the lottery, I'd buy season tickets to every favorite team I have.
They have that
because I wouldn't have a job. Yeah. I wouldn't have a job. I can go wherever the heck I wanted.
Yeah.
Do whatever I wanted.
That would be my retirement plan if I ever retire.
All right, so we're not retiring, by the way.
Yeah,
no chance.
Nobody our age is retiring. Unless they win the lottery. Our age is retiring. Unless you win the lottery.
Exactly. So, I know you brought this up a few minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
How do I put this? Where do the Cavs stand in the East prior to this trade? And where do the Cavs stand in the East post getting Donovan Mitchell?
Okay. So prior, I thought they were like the 6 through 8, I would say. Like with the Hawks and who else is up there?
Well, how about this? Make it easier. Who would you put above them pre-trade?
Okay. Really, I like the clear ones I only have 2, like clear ones. I think Milwaukee, Giannis is just a cheat code. So anybody like that. And then Boston, I would put up there. And then I probably maybe would I just don't know about Philadelphia would be the 3rd team, maybe. There's just you never know what the heck James Harden's going to do, though. Like, based on what their team is, they should be higher. Like, They have James Harden, Joel Embiid. That's what 2 top 10 guys. So, but yeah, that's about it. And you never, who the heck knows what the Nets are going to do? Is Kyrie going to show up? Is he going to be healthy? Like that's the big question with the Nets. Like beyond like his vaccination status last year, like he's not healthy a lot. Like he hasn't been healthy. Someone was talking about it. Like I think it was what's his name? I forget, the NBA podcast guy. I forget his name.
Oh man, you really narrowed that down.
Yeah, I know. The guy was at ESPN. Oh my god, I can't think of his name.
Zach Lowe.
No, he was at ESPN. Now he's got his own podcast network. Oh
I have
god,
no
what was
idea.
his name?
But go on. It doesn't matter. Just go on with it.
But like Kyrie hasn't been good since 2017. Like hasn't like consistently been an all-star level for a whole season since 2017. Like if you really think about it, like he hasn't played a whole season and he hasn't played at that level for a whole season. So it's just you never know what the Nets and then everybody else. I don't like the Heat. I don't know.
Heat's one of those teams where they don't seem like they're going to be that good, but every year they're freaking good.
Yeah, they're like the
You know what I mean?
Patriots almost. Like what without like at the end of the not when they're like studs when they have like Randy Moss. They're like they just are always there. It's just it's sort of like I would say a better one is like the Tampa Bay Rays. They're like the Tampa Bay Rays. They kind of you wouldn't expect them to be good, like to be up there all the time, but they always are. They always end up being up there.
And they always have empty stadiums and empty arenas too, so it's perfect. Great
That's
correlation.
True. Yeah.
So that was pre-trade. Now that the Cavs acquired Donovan Mitchell, what is their ceiling and what is their floor as in seed range in the playoffs, if that makes sense?
I think top 3 is their ceiling, and then top 6 is their.
So no matter what in the playoffs and avoiding the play-in, no matter what.
I think they. Yeah, I think they avoid the play-in. I don't. Let's see what we got here. Let's go to the East here. So the top 6 teams last year. So we might have to put Brooklyn back in because they're probably coming back. Who the heck knows? But
what team are you going to take out? Chicago?
But like Chicago, Toronto, like they're better than them. They're better than both those teams. Like Toronto passed them just because they were healthy last year to finish the season, and the Bulls, we saw them get just run out of the building in the playoffs. So I think they're better than them. So I think besides that, I think they're better than the Hawks. I don't trust that backcourt to fit together that well. I think I don't think Trae Young can play with a kind of dominant guard like that, but we'll see. And their defense is already terrible. So, I think top 6 is their kind of floor. Barring injuries.
I think, I mean, knock on wood.
We can always knock on wood.
Get bad injury lucky. I think their ceiling is 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
If every roster stays healthy, I think their ceiling is 3rd. Their floor is 7. I'll say 7 just to be safe.
Okay.
I don't think they're better than Boston and Milwaukee. I think they're. This is expecting fully healthy teams. Boston and Milwaukee are better, but they could compete with Philadelphia and Miami, I think, for that 3rd spot. But then let's say the floor, I would have assuming Miami is Miami, Boston, Milwaukee, Philly, Brooklyn. So that puts 5 teams ahead of them. And then Toronto, who knows? Chicago, if Lonzo Ball's healthy, who knows?
I don't think he is.
Although Zach Levine still?
He resigned. He resigned.
Okay. And then Atlanta, who knows? So it's like 3 who knows teams right there. You know what I mean? And I would, if I wasn't a Cavs fan, I think I would put the Cavs in that who knows zone as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Not like
that.
without being a homer. So if they just make the playoffs though, I'm perfectly fine with them just making the playoffs.
Right. For next season, my I don't know if my earpiece fell out here. My hope is just avoid the play-in. I think that's a success because we'll talk about this in a second. Next offseason could be a big one for the Cavs in terms of cap space and all that. So it's this year just kind of getting them all together, seeing how they fit together, and if they can avoid the play-in, that would be a success in my eyes. And then maybe hopefully getting out of round one. So
hopefully,
yeah. So it's gonna be fun to watch.
Yeah, and going on Twitter and seeing like all of the positive people rate, like national people raving
guys.
about. I know you retweeted a lot, and then I retweeted those tweets onto the WFNY CLE Twitter. Chris Manick said LeBron James exits Cleveland in 2018, and in 4 years, Kobe Altman, through the draft and some shrewd trades, has assembled a young, versatile title contender for years to come. A tremendous work by the Cavs GM. And then Jeff Goodman, who covers college hoops, I think for ESPN.
And the draft.
Yeah, and the draft. Yeah, you're right. He said, I also absolutely love what Kobe Altman and Mike Gansey had done in Cleveland. They inherited a complete mess and have turned the Cavs into a legit Eastern Conference contender. Yeah. Some organization would be smart to hire Gansey to run everything. I would not be surprised if that happens next year, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Mike Gansey, I know he's the assistant GM under Kobe.
Yeah.
Former West Virginia basketball standout. I don't think he did much in the NBA.
Too. He played high school.
He's from Olmsted Falls, right?
I think so.
How do I know that? I don't know.
I think he's Northeast Ohio, at least. I know that.
Yeah, I know I loved him way out of right field. I loved Mike Gansey and Kevin Pittsnagel at West Virginia. Yeah. You remember Kevin Pittsnagel?
Oh, dude, yeah, they were they played their Olmsted Falls, you're right, by the way.
How did the amount of useless shit in this head?
They the last NCAA tournament games that were at the God, what is that called? CSU. Pittsnagel was there. Pittsnagel and Mike Gansey.
And you know that's a long time ago. If the Wolfstein Center was hosting the NCAA tournament,
I was in grade school, and it was. I know you kind of think about it like, what the hell were they thinking? Like, I hope everybody has gone to see a game at CSU. It is a weird experience. It is a weird gym, and it is not big like you would think an NCAA tournament game would be.
Like I said, that literally shows you how long ago it's been since Mike Gansey and Kevin Pittsnagel played.
Now
the fact that the NCAA tournament was there. Now they have it for the majority of it, NBA arenas.
Yeah, it's either NBA or like giant NCAA arenas, and then once you get in the Final Four, it's like football stadiums.
It is. It's freaking football stadium now. Where if you're sitting at the top row, you need binoculars.
Yeah, I've been to one, and you need binoculars. It's a mile away, man. It's an interesting.
Literally.
If you have an opportunity to go, those are kind of fun. You don't see a basketball game in a football arena often. It's an interesting experience.
Yeah, if you think being in the 500 section for an NFL game is like far away, imagine a basketball court at the 50-yard line of said stadium.
Especially when because they usually are on one side of the field or the other. If you're on the other side, you are way far away.
It is crazy how much the NCAA tournament has expanded in terms of seating in arenas and stuff. But back to the Cavs, I know we just talked about where they would finish. I know we are not going to go for an hour, which is surprising. Joe and I always, whenever we podcast, it always goes for at least an hour somehow. Any final thoughts? I don't really have any. I said everything that I've been feeling and stuff. I just still can't believe the Cavs traded for Donovan Mitchell.
I know. And I just was looking at Twitter, and Donovan Mitchell and Darius are interacting. They're best friends, or good friends, I guess. So that's another kind of fun little part of this trade. Like Darius and Donovan are pretty good, pretty close off the court. So it's going to be fun to kind of get them together. I saw one person, I don't know who it was, some national guy, does he really want to come to Cleveland? First of all, he came from Utah. Like, what are we doing here?
If you could find one place worse than like,
right? I know,
if you were to
Oklahoma
rank the
City, I think, would be
destination
another
cities, if you were to rank the destination cities among the 30 NBA teams,
yeah,
Cleveland might be like 29th because Salt Lake City, Utah,
Yeah.
no doubt about it, would be 30th. Wait,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think now. Would it be 30th?
Oklahoma City would
Yeah, it
probably
would
be
have to
another
be.
one.
Oklahoma City would probably be tied for 30th.
Yeah.
And then we won't talk about how low Cleveland is, but all we have to worry about is that Salt Lake City and Oklahoma
Yeah.
City are probably
So
tied
I don't
for
want
last.
to. Yeah, I don't want to hear any crap about that. And plus, and also, as I was saying, he's good friends with Darius, so I think he'll be excited to come here. I think.
Speaking of that, Darius friend. Oh, sorry. Go
Yeah,
on.
I think they said Windy. I think reported on 850 that he was super excited. I think he ran around the golf course after
he ran around the golf course when he found out that not only was he traded to the Cavs, but in order to do so, they didn't trade Darius, Evan Mobley, or Jared Allen, basically the big three. And I guess he ran around the golf course screaming and yelling.
I love it.
I hope one of his friends, I'm sure it won't get out there, though. I wish that video would get out there. That'd be cool. But speaking of friendships, though, Darius and Donovan are supposedly close. Donovan Mitchell and Ricky Rubio were teammates in Utah, and they are extremely close. So Rubio that backcourt is going to be extremely close.
Rubio is just like the glue guy, man. He knows everybody. He's like loved by every single player in the NBA. It seems like.
True.
So it's an underrated move that they got him back, and kind of cheap, pretty much, for what, 2 seasons I think it was. So yeah, it's I think I keep forgetting that, like, he's on the team, like he's gonna be here. Like, that's a huge move late in the season. He'll probably come around January, I would assume, give or take. Normal injury histories have gone for that type of injury, so it's gonna be fun to watch to see how he incorporates.
They're gonna ease him back because if the Cavs make the playoffs, you're trying to ease Ricky Rubio back as slow as possible. One, so he doesn't re-injure that same ACL that he tore like 9 or 10 years ago, and 2, because you want him fresh for April. You want him fresh for the playoffs.
Right.
So I mean, the fact that the Cavs backcourt though is so close. If Garland and Mitchell are close, and we all know that Rubio and Garland are close, and Rubio and Mitchell are close, I mean, chemistry goes a long way.
Oh yeah, huge.
That seems cliche, but chemistry goes a long way in professional sport.
Yeah, and that's part of the reason why they had success last year. They really loved playing with each other, and they kind of stayed afloat because of that. They could have, with all those injuries, they should have bombed. Like they obviously did fall quite a bit, but with those injuries, they faced a lot of uphill battles, and they still made the play-in. So yeah, it's good. That's an underrated part of the. If you look back, like, what team in our lifetime was the closest knit team that we've ever had? Any sport. It's the 2016 Cavs. Like, those guys are still on a text chain, like, to this day, and they won a championship. So it's not a small correlation between how close your team is and winning.
Then again, winning also helps that. But yes, I absolutely get your point.
Good point. Yeah.
And I can guarantee you that no Browns team would be on the list. But I'm with that.
Any finals? 7
Browns? What was that?
Isn't that the Derek Anderson year?
Yeah, probably was.
Correctly.
That seems so long ago, by the way. 2007 was long ago. 15 years ago already. Time's flying. But I know I already asked you, any final thoughts?
I'm just pumped, man. I can't wait for the season to start. October, it's almost around the corner. Got a month.
It is September 1st. That is crazy too. September 1st.
Yeah, we got a month to go through without NBA, and then hey, we're in the month of at least training camp and all that. That's gonna be exciting. Like, we haven't had a. If you remember going back, the opening day, like the press conferences, were always like a freaking just awesome thing to watch when LeBron was here. I think we're gonna have another one this year. It's gonna be fun seeing all of them kind of do the press conferences and talk, and it's gonna be awesome. I can't wait.
Can't wait. Yeah, but I echo all of your thoughts. Like I said, I was skeptical at first just because of what they gave up, but I'm excited to see how it works out.
Yeah,
still gonna be skeptical because they gave up a lot for Donovan Mitchell, but it'll be fun. It'll be interesting and it'll be fun all at the same time.
Yeah, I'm just happy they consolidated the roster at least.
True, they're down to 15 now, which is where they had to be.
Yeah, we have an open spot, and I know we'll probably talk about this during later broadcast or later CavsCast, but next off season is going to be a fun one too because they have a lot of opportunities to make some moves in terms of cap space.
Yeah, they're gonna have a bunch of cap space next year somehow because it seems weird because Donovan Mitchell's on a
huge I know, right?
Garland will be. Jared Allen kind of is.
It just shows you how much Kevin Love's making.
True. That's $30 million off the books.
He's making a boatload of money.
For those of you that joined us live, though, we appreciate it. I was not expecting to do a CavsCast tonight, and then here we are.
It was.
Shout out to Seth, not only for predicting this trade all the way back on April 19th, but also literally leaving for a bachelor party as the trade got announced. Perfect timing. For those of you that joined us live, though, we appreciate you. For those of you that are listening on your podcast feed, whether it be Apple, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast, we appreciate you as well. And I don't know when the next CavsCast will be, unless they make a weird trade. They're not going to make any more trades. They can't.
You mean LeBron? It's coming
back. Well, stop it. So October-ish, but until then, you have Joe, me, Josh Poloha, and Joe Gilbert, who's with me tonight. Browns Cast. We're going to be doing probably a preview for every game. And then a post-game reactions, post-game to every game. So that means next week, which is crazy, that next weekend is NFL already. So the Browns Cast will be back with you next week. The Corner Cast, I think they're taking the week off this week, but they will be back with you next week as well. So always just tune in. I know the Dairy Bros always have a podcast every Monday too. Always just tune in. Keep track of the Waiting for Next Year podcast network because we have plenty of stuff, plenty of good stuff. Try not to focus on the bad stuff, but yeah, seriously. In Guardians, Browns, Cavs.
It's exciting times, guys. Like, how many times have we seen three young teams in Cleveland kind of have? It's going to be fun, man. Yeah, have hope. Right?
Have hope.
All at the same time.
Never.
All at the same
I don't
time.
think that. I'm 31 years old. I can guarantee you that's never happened in my lifetime.
I think the closest was 2016. The Indians and the Guardians were in the World Series.
But then the Browns.
And then,
the Browns were close.
That's what I'm saying.
But for all three teams, though, I think me being a 31-year-old, it's first time in my lifetime.
Yeah. Usually it's one of the teams is downright crappy. And usually it's the Browns.
True. And that perfectly describes Cleveland. Usually one of our teams is downright crappy.
Non-LeBron teams.
Until now.
Yes.
Until last year and until now.
That's another fun kind of part of this. We're actually winning without LeBron.
True.
We're doing it by ourselves.
Yeah. That's the motto this year. # doing it by ourselves. Oh man, don't search that hashtag on Twitter. That's CavsCast after that's CavsCast after dark. Wow. All right. So I guess we'll end it on that note. Wow, it got dark in here quick. But seriously, if you join us live, we appreciate it. We'll be back with you with a Browns Cast next week. Corner Cast will be back with you next week. Dairy Bros will be back with you next week. CavsCast will be back with you probably in October, somewhere around then. Yeah. Until then, and as always, go Cavs.